Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear.
Yeah. Okay. So majorly in the last session, we have completed the most important module of Spring called as Spring Core module. We have discussed about that. Okay. So in the Spring Core module, what is the last topic we have discussed? It's a Spring Bean life cycle we have discussed. Okay. So can I know what is that Spring Bean life cycle and how are we using it? Where are we going to use it? Can I know that? Quick. What is Spring Bean life cycle?
Whenever we create an object, what are the steps container is going to take? Then that the things will be called as a bean life cycle. Whenever we are creating an object for a bean.
Yeah. So whenever we create an object, immediately internally Spring is going to take care of executing some code in the back, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So all those steps are called as Spring Bean lifecycle methods. Okay. But really, do I need to do any work with the Spring Bean lifecycle, or who is going to call those methods? Am I going to call, or it is a responsibility of container to call?
Container.
Yeah, it is a completely responsibility of container to call all the Spring Bean lifecycle methods. Okay, so tell me, what are the steps followed by the Spring Bean lifecycle? There are 14 steps are there. Out of 14 steps, first to 10 steps are what? Aware interfaces. Yeah. So can I know some of the aware interfaces?
Bean name aware interface. Bean class loader aware interface. Bean factory aware.
Yeah, Bean factory aware.
Environment aware.
Application context aware.
Environment aware.
Yeah, environment aware. Like that, there are more than 10 aware interfaces are available. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is how it is working in the back. Okay. So now we don't need to do any of them here. It is a responsibility of container to call. But what is our responsibility? If you want to do any work, you just provide the implementation to those aware interfaces. Okay. Once if you provide the implementation to those aware interfaces, it is a responsibility of Spring to call those methods here. So that's what we have done. So with that, we have completely finished the discussion on life cycle, as well as completely core module itself. We have finished it, right? Now let us move on to the next module called as Spring JDBC module. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's try to draw some diagrams here. Yeah. So in today's session, majorly we are going to talk about something called as Spring JDBC module. Okay. Now, first question. Already we are having JDBC in our regular Java or not?
Yes.
Okay. What is the difference between your regular JDBC and Spring JDBC? That's the first question.
In Spring JDBC.
Okay. One simple example. Really, do you want me to write any program and show you how to interact with a database by using JDBC, or already you are aware of JDBC?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So tell me, how do you work with JDBC here? Let us say, okay, let's do one thing. Let's go on practically part and have a look at that. Okay. Sir, as I'm using a Mac, I cannot install Oracle into this MacBook here. Okay. So your Mac support MySQL database. So what I have done is, in my system, I'm using only MySQL database. But in your systems, can you guys practice with Oracle database?
Yes.
Yeah. So I want you guys to practice with Oracle database here. But in the class environment, I'm going to use MySQL database. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me connect to MySQL. Let me show you some of the tables here. Generally, in your systems, in your Windows operating system, you can go to Start menu. You can start your MySQL server. Okay. But here, I want to go to a terminal here. Okay. In the terminal, I'm going to launch MySQL here. To launch MySQL, I'm going to use a command called as MySQL. Click on enter. When I click on MySQL and enter, it is not allowing me to access that. Okay. The reason is I have to provide both usernames and password to access your MySQL. Okay. So in Mac, the way I'm going to talk to MySQL database is like this. MySQL -u stands for username. Root is the username. -p password. Just kept my personal password here. Okay. So now tell me, are we able to connect to MySQL database or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So tell me, how after you have to install MySQL database first. Okay. Or in your system, if you are using Oracle also, that's also fine. So throughout the course, I'll be using only MySQL database. Okay. So help me. Again, how do we connect to the MySQL database? Quick.
MySQL -u username -p password.
Yeah. So -u stands for username. Okay. Then followed by -p. Okay. Followed by password.
Yes.
Okay. To clear it, there's a shortcut here. Either you can use clear screen here. Okay. Or I can use a Control-L screen here to clear the screen. Okay. Generally, I'll use that Control-L, which is the easiest shortcut for me to clear the screen. Okay. Now, in MySQL is a database contains so many child databases into that here. Okay, so we need to create a databases into MySQL here. So now to check, are there any available databases or not? There are some commands available into that, like show databases is a command which generally we use to display all the databases here. Show databases. If you look at this, tell me, what do you observe here? Do you think that are we having so many databases or not?
Yes, sir. BMS
Okay.
Dexter.
Yeah, BMS is a database. Dexterous DB is another database. Okay, so many databases are available. So here, what I have done is I have created my own database called as BMS. Okay, but if you want, you can also create your own databases. Create database MOC. Let us see, MOC is the database name here. Click on enter. Okay, now tell me, database is created. Now you can see the database now. Show databases. 1 minute here. Yeah. Okay. So just say show databases, right? Now this time, are we able to see MOC or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I want to use the database. To use the database, I have to use a command called as use MOC. Now database changed. Okay. Now to see all the tables, show tables. Tell me, are there any tables available or no tables available?
No
No
tables available.
No tables available. So let's do one thing. What I want to do is, again, I want you to connect to MySQL database. Okay. And then I want you to create one table, employee table in that MySQL database. Come on, quick, do that.
Go to terminal,
Terminal,
MySQL -u
-u -p,
P,
just providing the password. Okay.
use MOC.
Use MOC. If you know the database name, directly we can type it. If you are not aware of the database name, then you have to take this approach to do that. Okay. Use MOC. Now tell me, how to display all the tables?
Show tables.
Show tables. Okay, tables are not available here. Can anyone help me to create the table here? Basic employee table.
Create table.
Same syntax. There is no difference between the syntaxes in Oracle and MySQL here. Only the data types are going to be a slight different here. Okay.
Number, int,
name. We are not going to use varchar 2. Okay. We have to use varchar. Okay. Salary of double. Okay. Click on enter. Are we able to create the table or not? There is no primary key and all we have added. We'll be adding the primary keys and all when we are going to discuss about ORM module. Okay. Now I want to check what are the tables available. Show tables. This time I have a table with the name EMP_table. I want to display all the records from this table. Select star from EMP_table. Okay. There are no records available, but the queries are same. Insert into EMP_table values 1 Sumant 10,000. Okay, select star from EMP underscore table. Okay, apart from the connecting to the database and apart from the data types, almost is the queries and everything is same as your Oracle database only or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any more questions or doubts in MySQL database? Okay, fine. Then let's do one thing. Truncate the table. Truncate table EMP underscore table. Okay, guys, what help I need from you is you start your Eclipse. Okay, I want you to set up a Spring project. Okay, from the Spring project, I want you to interact with MySQL database and I want to insert the record into that. Can we do that?
Yes.
Are we aware of JDBC or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are aware of JDBC. With respect to that, let's do that. If any help needed, I'll do that. 1 minute. Let me change this font and all. Light. Yeah, apply and close. So first, what help I need from you is just a help in creating a Spring project. Okay, file, new. Let me make this as a Maven project, right? From the Maven, I'm going to provide all the required details here. Next. Instead of all catalog, internal. Next. Okay, info.inetsol is a group ID. Project name, make this as MOC because my database schema is also MOC. Or we'll do one thing, Spring JDBC. Okay, click on finish. Okay, now what we need is we need some dependencies to be added here. Okay, go to browser, Spring context Maven dependency tab, Java compiler. Okay, plugin. Let's take this Java compiler Maven plugin because I want to go to official website and then I want to get that. Okay, source and target compiler plugins. Yeah, I want to get this plugins. You copy that, go to your Spring JDBC, pom.xml file. Let's increase the font little. Use a tag called as build tag. Hundreds of times we have done this. This is not the first time we are doing it. Okay, you can change the version number here. Okay, let's continue with 1.8. No issues. You already know how to change the version numbers and use it or not?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now go to your Spring context. Go to Spring context. 5.2.7. Latest versions of Spring here. Okay. Copy that. Go to your pom.xml. Just say paste here. Control Shift F. Okay. If you want, you can change the version number also. No issues for me. Don't conclude saying that this is going to work only for this particular version and all. Any version is fine. Yeah. Do you think that are we able to set up the Spring environment or not?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me, if a Java application want to communicate with database, is it mandatory that do we need to have JDBC driver or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So without JDBC driver, we will not be able to communicate with database. Assume that this is a database here. This is Java application. And we need a JDBC driver here. Okay. So our Java application is going to communicate with
JDBC driver.
yeah, JDBC driver. Okay. And the JDBC driver should communicate with
Database.
database. This is architecture. But what is missing in our environment as of now? Anything is missing?
We don't have, we have not yet loaded the JDBC driver.
JDBC driver. Okay. So can anyone help me? How can we have JDBC driver? To which database I'm connecting?
MySQL.
MySQL. So let us interact with MySQL database here. Okay. Where is my Chrome browser? Let's put that into the next window. Okay. I want to add MySQL dependencies. Can anyone help me how to add the MySQL dependency? Any jar file, you just go to Google and search it. MySQL Maven dependency. Yeah, just go there. You can take the latest version. The latest version of MySQL is 8. Okay, I'm selecting that. Just copy that Okay, go to your pom.xml file and you add the dependencies there. Okay, fine. We have added that. So now let's do one thing. With this, I hope I'm ready with all the setup here. Now I can start writing the Java program to perform the tasks here. Okay, just watch, select all, Ctrl+Shift+F. Okay, let me write some JDBC code here. Okay, one simple example. Okay, how many of you guys know exception handling in Java?
Yes.
Come on here.
Yes, we know.
Sir.
How do you write that exception handling? By using
Try catch block. Try
Try
catch.
catch.
Final.
try catch blocks. Okay, try catch finally. Okay, from Java 7 onwards, there is a change available in try catch blocks here. Okay, that is called as try with resource. Okay, try with resource in Java. Okay, just glance the syntax here. Earlier syntaxes are different. The latest syntaxes are different. Okay, olden days we used to write like a try block. This is try block. Okay, but nowadays within the try we are going to write some statements here. Okay, so this concept is called as what? Try with. Okay, the advantage of try with resource is really you no need to write the code in the finally block to close the connections and all. Guys, are we clear with what is try with resource now? Yeah, difference between normal try catch block and try with resource. Yeah, finally block. Okay, but here it is not required. Now let's do one thing. Let me start writing the try block here. Try. Okay, I'm opening a flower brackets here. Okay, now whenever whatever the code you want to do, you are going to write inside this particular try block here. Okay, now let us say I want to get the connection here. Driver manager dot get connection.
Get connection.
Okay, I know I'm hard coding. I will remove this hard codings later point of time here. Okay, JDBC : MySQL : localhost 3306 / MOC is my database name. Username is the root. Okay, just supplying the database password. Okay, I'm going to get the connection object. Okay, connection also I'm going to store here only. Connection. Okay, so step 1 completed. What is step 1? Get the what object?
Statement object.
Yeah. 1 minute. Semicolon is missing or what? Oh, double quotes is missing here. Instead of double quotes, 1 double quotes I have given a okay, semicolon. Now tell me, are we able to get the connection object or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's input the package java.sql package.
SQL.
Okay, now I need to get the statement object. Okay, in the same flower brackets only I'm continuing that code here. Okay, now connection dot
create statement.
Create statement. 1 minute here. Leave it. It's disconnected. Connection dot create statement. Create statement. Okay, semicolon. Which object we are going to get?
Statement object.
Okay, I know I'm writing a bad way of variables here. Okay, not recommended to use STMT and all. Recommended to use statement. Okay, we got the statement object also. Okay, so we have to put all of them into a catch block here. Just say catch of SQL exception. SQL exception or E, and we are going to write print stack trace also on top of that. E dot print stack trace, so that we will understand what is the error message which we are going to get it. Why this is giving an error message is maybe I have to SQL exception spelling mistake. Yeah. So now write E dot print stack trace. Okay. So without writing a print stack trace, never do that any work here. So now I got the statement object. Okay. By using the statement object, I would like to insert the record here. Now that code I'm going to write inside the try block. Guys, really, do you see any change in the syntaxes of try catch?
Yes, sir.
Earlier, we used to write them in a different manner, right? Directly
Yes.
flower bracket we used to write. Inside this we used to write. Now I'm directly writing inside the try block itself. Okay. Now start the work. STMT dot execute update of insert query. insert into emp underscore table values of employee number 1. Okay, Mohan is the username, password 10, salary 10,000. Click on semicolon here. Now tell me, are we ready with the code now?
Yes, sir.
Guys,
Yes, sir.
if you want me to write the old style, I'll write. But generally, I don't like to write the old style.
Statement of execute update also within the try.
Okay. Generally, what code you have to write inside the try block is you cannot write all the code in the try block. Okay, let's try that. Cut this. Okay, try. Is it accepting or not accepting?
Not accept.
Okay, there is a rule available. What code we have to write inside the try block? Only the code which can be auto closable. Okay, there is an interface called as auto closable. Okay, do one thing. Go to this connection interface. Okay, this connection interface providing the implementation of another interface called as
Auto closable.
okay, only the code which provides the implementation of auto closable. That code only can be right inside which block? Try block. Okay, the remaining code you should get right inside the catch block here. Inside the try block. Okay, now hope I'm ready with the code. So can anyone help me to test this code? Execute the code and test it.
Sir, run as
Simple Java application.
run as Java application.
Run as Java application. Okay, so when I'm trying to run this as Java application, console is not coming yet. Let me open the console. Show view console. Okay, in the console, is the program got terminated here or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is the meaning of maybe successful? Okay, let's verify that. Go to terminal, MySQL -u. Okay, I'm just applying the password. Okay, use MOC. Okay, select star from emp underscore table. Okay. Tell me, is my program able to successfully insert the records or not?
Yes.
Okay, now tell me, can I say, is this a Spring JDBC code or not? Or this is a pure JDBC code?
This is pure JDBC code.
Hey, this is not JDBC code. This is a pure Spring JDBC code.
We don't see any Spring annotations or anything. Yes, a core Java.
Yeah, it's a pure core Java code. Only one thing, just I have given a build-up of having a pom.xml file. In the pom.xml file, just added what? Dependencies of what? Not MySQL. MySQL is mandatory.
Context.
What dependency? Context. Now today, even if I remove this context also, program will work or program will not work?
It will work.
It will work. I'm telling you, this was the pure JDBC program here. Okay. For this, there is no dependency of Spring. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now tell me, by using a pure JDBC code, we are able to write one insert record and completed the discussion on inserting a record into the database here. But, okay, now, okay, one simple example here. Guarantee, I know, by looking at this code, some of you guys may be confused. Sumant, I'm not happy with this code. Why you guys are not happy with this code is, okay, theoretically speaks, you know JDBC code. But the way you have learned JDBC code is by using old technology you have learned, but not by using the new technology. Okay, that too. Most of you guys, whenever people write the code, whenever they open a connection, they will not close the connection. Okay, one question here. How many of you guys know how to open the JDBC code? How many of you guys open the connection, close the statement object also, statement as well as result it also? Everything we close it, or we are responsible to close only connection? Yes, are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Everything we need to close.
Everything we have to close it, or we are responsible to close only connection?
If you close connection, automatically it closes everything.
That is a bad impression on the database part. Most of the people thinks that, okay, I'm responsible only to close the connection. No, which is a bad way. Whenever you are working in a project, it is mandatory to close all of them. What all of them? Connection we have to close. Statement object also we have to close. Prepare statement, okay, as well as result set also we have to close. If you don't do that task, we are going to end up with memory related issues like cursor issues we used to face it. Yes, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But now problem is, do you really think that if I want to write the JDBC code, really whether I have to do a lot of tasks from my side or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What are the tasks we have to do? Like, for example, I need to write the code to open a connection. I need to write the code to close the connection. I need to write the code to create the statement object. I need to write the code to execute the query. I am responsible to process a result set object. I am responsible to handle the exceptions also. Everything, it is the responsibility of
the programmer,
developer to take care of that, right?
Yes.
Okay, now example. How many good developers? Okay, a simple example here. Now, one generalized example. Assume that who is excellent here? Okay, example like an IIT student is an excellent student, or a student who has studied in a regular engineering college is better. Generalized question I'm asking here.
Generally,
IIT student.
IIT is better. Okay. May I know the reason why they are very good?
because the selection procedure is tough.
Yeah, selection procedure is tough. Guarantee their intelligence, right?
Yes.
They write the better code, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they guarantee, they give the best code in the world. Assume like that, okay, because we have already seen that. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let us say, okay, there are two people available in this class who are from US here. One is like a Geeta, next one is from Anita. So after a few days, what those two people are planning to do is they want to start one small company in India, okay? And they are going to be the CEOs of that particular company. Okay, so now one question to you guys, both Anita and Geeta. So what we will do is we are going to develop some software from software and we will be delivering it. So what we are going to do is we will recruit all IIT people in our company.
No, sir. No.
Hey, they will give you the best code, man. The best code, the great code they are going to give
Price
you.
is also other thing we look at.
What other things?
Like we
Maybe
need
more
to pay
salary.
more to them.
We have to afford more salaries.
Okay, example. Each donkey will ask 1 crore per year.
Yes.
Now, means per year, as a salary itself, I have to pay 30 crores to them. Okay. Now, after developing a great product, assume that I have sold my product for 30 crores. Any profit, any benefit to us or no benefit?
No benefit.
So waste of time.
Waste of time as well as waste of money also, right?
Yes.
Now tell me, then who you are more interested in?
Regular story.
1:10 ratio. For
Not even 1:10 ratio. 1% means 1 crore. Who will pay, man? If I am the CEO, what I will do is I will not even go to CBIT college, because CBIT college also in Hyderabad is a big good college. Okay, I don't want to go to any university campus. Okay, what I will do is I will ask someone in the road, which is the worst engineering college in Hyderabad. Okay, I'll go there. Okay, there also I am not interested to select the topper in that class. The reason is toppers and all will expect us to pay more salaries, right? 6-7 lakhs they'll ask me. So I'll ask one fellow who is having bit backlogs, okay, who after few days who has cleared it. I will find that candidate. Okay, for him I will ask him, I will pay 20,000 to you per month. Okay, are you interested to work in my project? So obviously, is he interested or he is not interested?
You will be interested.
Very interested.
Okay, after work for, okay, assume that even if I pay 20,000 to him, okay, next year, okay, 1 year completed, he comes to me, asks me, Sumant, salary increase. I told him, get out. Reason is, you have not done a great work and you are having a backlogs. Do you think that this fellow can prepare the resume? Can he go out to the next companies or he cannot go?
cannot go.
He cannot go also. So what is my plan is like this. Okay, I will recruit 30 people here. Okay, I know your intention may be, if you recruit 30 people, what will happen? Example, like let's say calculator, 30 into 20,000 per month. Okay, per month, how much amount?
6 lakhs.
6 lakhs.
6 lakhs. I'm running a company, a software company with 6 lakhs. Okay, I will have a nice tool, a nice framework like Java, okay, or Spring framework. In the Spring framework, really, you no need to worry about opening the connection. You no need to worry about closing the connections. Everything is done by Spring framework itself. Only one thing what we have to do is you need to call, you need to supply the query to that particular stuff. Only query. If you supply a query, everything they will take care of it. So now for this really great project, do I need to have a great developers or average developers or below average developers also sufficient?
Yes, sir. Average to below average is sufficient.
Why? But they will not be able to write the great code, right?
We don't need.
But we don't need them, sir. Framework will take care of everything. Whatever.
Framework will take care of anything. So now tell me, by spending okay, without framework, I can recruit 80 people, I can pay more, and I can deliver a product. Okay, so by having a normal developers also, same product I can develop it. Can I?
Yes.
Okay, so cost wise, which one is better for me?
Using the framework.
Using the framework. But with using the framework, using the EDX also, do you think that can I deliver a better product to the clients?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so the reason is these fellows no need to apply a brain. I'll tell them, hey, do this, do this, do this. That's it. They are responsible to do that. And you may ask, but they'll do a lot of mistakes. Where are the chances to make a mistake? If I allow them to open a connection, they'll make a mistake. If I allow them to close a connection, they'll make a mistake. If I allow them to execute the queries and all, they'll make a mistake. I'm not allowing them to do anything. Just I'm allowing them to call one function by supplying a query as a parameter to that. So with that, any chances for them to make a mistakes are not required.
No chances. The critical information is taken care by framework itself.
Framework itself. So now tell me, really, whatever the JDBC code which we have written, really, is this required in Spring or not required?
Not required.
Not required.
Not required. So instead of we do all this work, who is going to do all this work? Opening a connection, closing the connection, all this work.
Spring framework.
Spring framework is going to take care of all of them. So are you guys comfortable with how exactly we are going to work with Spring framework in JDBC now? High level. I know I have not even written a single program also, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So then let's do one thing. What I want you to do is go to documentation. Okay. Tab. Google Spring documentation. Okay, Spring framework documentation. Okay, more interested for me is data access. Okay, inside this also more interested on JDBC. Okay, data access with
JDBC.
Okay, size. What I need from you now is I want you to understand this table and help me what exactly the table is doing it. What is the table? What are we doing in that?
Do's and who does what, sir?
Okay. So this is action. Means what are the steps which we have to carry out? This is who is doing what work. Okay. What is the work which we have to do it? Now read the first parameter here. Define.
Connection parameters is the developer responsibility.
1 minute. What is the meaning of that connection parameters? Like driver class,
URL driver
username. Username, password is the developer responsibility. Next, opening a connection, SQL query. Okay, supplying the values to the parameters. Okay, executing the statement. Okay, by using a loops, I have to process them. Okay, each iteration I have to do that. Okay, process any exception. If any exception has come, how do you solve it? Handling transaction, closing connections. So all these are the generalized steps which we perform in any project. Okay, now tell me, if you look at this, defining connection parameters, who is going to do that?
Developer.
Okay, hey, one quick question here. Why developer has to do here? Why not Spring does this work? That's what I don't understand.
Spring doesn't know which
parameters,
which database we are going to connect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
Spring
are
doesn't know any information to which database we have to connect, where we have to connect and all, right? So all that information we have to provide it. Without we provide it, they don't know how to process that. Okay, that is the reason we have to do that. Next, what is the next one here?
Open the connection is the Spring responsibility.
Yeah, opening the connection, Spring responsibility. What is this here?
We have to write the SQL queries.
Oh, why we have to write?
Because they don't know the business
Requirements and everything they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. What is this here?
Declaring parameters and provide parameter values.
What is the parameters? Generally, in JDBC and all, we'll be having a statement object, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Is the really statement is better or prepared statement is better?
Prepared statements are better.
Prepared statement.
Okay. So by default, Spring will use only prepared statement. Whenever we are having a prepared statement, do we need to supply the values to those prepared statements or not?
Yes,
Yes.
we are positional
So
parameters.
that we have to do that. Okay. Next.
Prepare and execute the statement is the Spring responsibility.
Spring responsibility. Loops also Spring responsibility. Iteration, we have to do that. Okay. Next. Process any exceptions. Spring responsibility. Handling transaction. Spring responsibility. Closing the connection statement and all. Is the Spring responsibility. So now tell me, all these steps, really, are we going to do a great amount of work? Are we going to do a bit less amount of work?
Yeah, 40-60%. So 60% will done by Spring and 40% will be done by
not even 60-40% also. Supplying driver class URL username, okay, they are taking as one parameter here. Is really supplying driver class URL username is a great stuff or what?
No, sir, it's not a great stuff.
I say 95% is taken care. Okay, my responsibility only supply query, supply details. That's all. If I do that, the remaining work is done by
Spring.
Now I see like in this example, 90-10%. 90% of the work is done by
Spring.
Okay, 10% of work is done by
Developers.
Okay, supply them also. And moreover, generally in a real-time project, really where are we going to supply all this? Driver class, URL, username, password. Whether we have to supply or we are going to configure them in the property files.
Property files.
That work also is not there for you. So it is taken care by some lead and all. Yeah, your lead is going to take care of that. So are you comfortable with really what is a great advantage of using Spring JDBC?
Yes,
Sir.
Yeah, what is the advantage of using Spring JDBC?
less code and good quality of code we get from Spring.
Good quality of nothing. No need to worry about transaction. No need to worry about exception handling. No need to worry about how are we going to process that. No need to worrying about opening the connection and all of them. Right?
Yes.
So are you guys comfortable with this concept?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you really have, so now, okay. So now, what are the code which I have written here? Really, do you think that is it the work done by? Really, I have to do all this work or no need to do the work?
No need to do this.
Okay. So now, what Spring guys has done is, okay, you may ask how they have done this and how they have achieved it. It's very easy. Generally, instead of you write the code, instead of we write all this code, what Spring might have done?
Is already providing the
Spring
code.
people wrote the code.
Spring provide all this code. Okay. Generally, in Spring, are we going to have some Spring beans or not?
Yes.
What is Spring contains? Sorry,
Beans.
what is Spring project? Spring beans. Now, what Spring guys has done here is, okay, I'm going to delete this workspace here. I don't want, okay, because I'm going to set up that everything from the scratch. Okay. What Spring guys has done is, Spring guys has developed their own predefined classes. Okay. Instead of you do that, they are doing the work. Okay. One of the important Spring bean, which is given by Spring for JDBC is JDBC template. What is it?
JDBC template.
Okay. So JDBC template is a predefined Spring bean given by
Spring.
So now tell me, what is our responsibility? Our responsibility is to develop JDBC template or use the JDBC template?
Use
The
the
JDBC template.
Use the JDBC template. Okay. So who has given the JDBC template? Whether I have developed it or Spring has given it?
Spring.
Okay. If Spring has given it, I should be able to use it. But there is a small catch here. This program is developed in the year of 2001. When they developed in the year of 2001, do you think that is it having annotations or it doesn't have annotations?
It
doesn't
doesn't.
Doesn't have annotations.
But if they don't have annotation, if I want to use that in my program, how do you do that?
Create a factory class and factory.
Create a factory class and do that. Use it, right? Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll see that later point of time. Now, what we want to do now is I want to develop JDBC template program here. Okay. Because I want to see what exactly the code available in that. Can we write that particular JDBC template code and see that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay. So let's do one thing. Hey, this is a sample code. Okay. Just for your understanding purpose, I'm doing it. Okay. So whatever the code earlier I have done, the same code is also done by
String.
JDBC
Spring.
template Java.
JDBC template. I'll do one thing. Instead of writing here, I recommend you to write in the Eclipse itself, so that if needed, tomorrow also I can do that. Otherwise, if I store this in this code, if I close the system, this will be last year. Program will be last. Let's develop in the Eclipse itself. But really, do I need to develop this, or we no need to do that?
We no need to do that.
Then why am I writing?
Just for
Just to
understanding
understand
purpose.
what the Spring has already done for us.
Yeah, Spring has already done. We are discussing that. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let me write the code here. Right click, new class. Class name is JDBC template. Okay. JDBC template is a Spring Bean. Okay. Now inside the Spring Bean, I would like to have a connection here. Okay. I would like to have a connection. I want to insert a record. So what will happen is we are going to write one method called as save. Public void save. Save is a method. Okay. Inside this method, I want to insert the record. So whoever called this save method, I would like to insert the record. Okay. Now tell me. So what is my first step? Do you think that do I need to open a connection or not?
Yes.
Yeah. So generally, how to open a connections in a project?
Driver manager dot register type.
Connection string.
Driver manager dot get connection, right? Okay. Sir, none of the project will use driver manager dot get connections in a project. The reason is they are physical connections. So in a real-time project, always we have to use a logical connections. Means that is nothing but by using a connection pool. What is it?
Connection pool.
Okay, so connection pool is the program which will give us the connections, a logical connections they are going to give us. Are you comfortable with that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we are going to get the logical connections, and by using those connections, we are going to process that. Okay, so data source is an interface. What is it? Data source is a
Interface.
interface. Whenever we get the data source object, that is nothing but we got the connection. Okay, so answer. What is the meaning of getting a data source object?
Getting the connection.
Yeah, getting a data source object is nothing but getting a connection from connection pool. It's not a regular connection. So now what Spring does is Spring will always develop the better code, okay, for working with projects here. So what they have done is they force us to use a connection pool. Without connection pool, they don't allow us to write the code. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now tell me, this save method is going to internally uses a data source here. Okay. Do you think that if they use a data source, do you need to get that object or not?
Yes.
Okay. So now tell me, do you want me to create the object or someone will create the data source object? We use it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have one instance variable, private data source, data source. So now JD, okay, let me import the package also. Okay, so one quick question. What is the meaning of getting a data source object? Can I say getting a data source object is nothing but getting a connection or not?
Yes.
Yeah, connection from where?
From
From the
data
connection pool.
From the connection pool.
Connection pool.
Are you comfortable with the concept here? Yeah, so JDBC template internally is using
Data source.
data source. Okay. Now, whenever you want a connection, you are going to say data source dot get connection. You are going to say it. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Inside the save method, I want you to get the data source object. Can you help me? How do you get that? Sorry, I want you to get the connection object. Can you help me? How do you get that?
data source dot get connection.
Connection.
Data source dot get connection.
Get connection.
Data source dot get connection. get connection. Control 1. Okay. With the control 1, yeah, add declarations here. Yeah, we are going to get the connection object. So whenever we get the connection object, can we create the prepare statement or statement object or not?
Yes.
Connection dot. Hey, who is writing all this code? Am I writing or Spring is giving all?
Spring is giving.
We are trying to understand their code. We got the statement object now. Oh, a bad way of writing this code. We always use try with resource. Okay, statement. Okay, I got the statement object also. Statement dot execute query. But how to form the query here? It's not my query. Whoever called the save method, they have to supply the query object here. So I'm going to supply SQL query as the input here. Okay, I'll get the SQL here. Okay, now after that, after my work is done, connection dot close. So connection is closed. Control that. Connection is closed. So now tell me, do you think that Spring has developed this class or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me, are we having any instance variables inside this class?
Yes. Data
Yeah.
source.
What is the instance variable?
Data source.
Data source. Okay. Save is a method. Think like this. This is a Spring Bean developed by whom?
Spring.
Spring. Okay. If Spring has developed, I would like to use this particular code.
Spring itself.
Yeah. We want to use it. Leave Spring here. We would like to use this particular code. Okay. So if I want to use it, tell me how to use this. Can I create the object to JDBC template object?
Get JDBC template.
Template.
Yeah. Okay. I have to write the get JDBC template object. Okay. So let's do one thing. For the time being, container is not there yet. Let me do one thing. Let me create the, hey, this is not the real way. Just as an example, I'm showing you. Control 1. Okay. I got the JDBC template object. Okay. Tell me, what will happen whenever we got JDBC template object? Do you think that, is it going to create, allocate the memory to the instance variables or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How many instance variables we have?
One.
One. What is the instance variable?
Data source.
What is the, okay. What will happen when the JDBC template object is created?
It will create the, it allocate the memory to the data source.
It allocate the memory to
Data source.
data source. But what is the data source is a variable. Any value available in that or no value? What will happen when I create the object to JDBC?
Default value will assign.
Default value will be assigned. What is the default value?
Null.
Very good. Null. Okay. So now, whenever object is created to JDBC template, they assign what value to this?
Null.
Null value. Now, okay. Now I will call the save method here. Tell me. JDBC template dot save. I will supply some insert query and all. Okay. If I execute this code, what will happen? Do you think that program will execute successfully or program will fail?
It will fail.
May I know the reason why it is going to fail?
As the data source is not available.
Yeah.
Data sources object is not available. So now tell me, now tell me, do you really think that whenever JDBC template, whenever Spring people are designing JDBC template class, do you think that they need to make sure that data source is a mandatory dependency or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Whoever uses
Must have to configure data source.
Data source. So tell me, JDBC template is dependent on what type of object?
Data source.
Okay, so now it is your responsibility to tell me how can I achieve mandatory dependency in Spring. You already know that.
To set a method.
Constructor dependency.
Okay, you want me to establish constructor dependency. Excellent. Let's do one thing. JDBC template.
Not with the data source object.
Wait. No. I don't say that. This is the data source. That's all. I will write down this. But if I do like this, can I say it's a mandatory dependency or highest priority will go to
Default constructor.
Default constructor only or not?
Yes.
Yeah. So now tell me, what is the problem here? So, okay, I'll do one thing. Then I will write one more constructor also.
No,
Source.
priority will go to the default only.
Constructor using field. Okay, data source. So two constructors I have. Now, do you think that am I able to achieve the mandatory dependency, or I'll not be able to achieve mandatory dependency?
Will not
Not
achieve.
able to achieve.
Yeah. So, but I want at any cost, whenever JDBC template object is creating, Spring has to verify whether user has supplied.
Data source or not.
Zero argument constructor.
Sorry.
So
We should remove the zero argument constructor.
No. They want.
Oh, okay.
See, already these topics
by
explained in the
using
core module.
post
Initializing
after
the-
property set or
Yeah.
post construct annotation.
Yeah,
Like post
but for a post construct, this is the code developed in 2001, not now.
We need a factory.
After
old code,
property
old
set
code.
with initializing,
very good.
implements initializing bean.
Implements initializing bean. Okay, let me write down. Spring only added, right? Implements initializing bean. Yeah, it is there. Good that I have not removed the dependencies. Okay, can I have one
After property
set method now?
Yes.
Yeah. So now inside this, what is the code there? Spring might have written
If data source is null,
is equal to null. They throw an exception. Throw new exception of
data source is mandatory.
data source property required.
Okay.
Don't worry about the spelling mistakes here. Okay. So now tell me, like this, who developed all this code? Whether I have developed it or Spring has developed it.
Spring.
Okay. Now tell me, if Spring has developed it, can I reuse this code now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir. We call this as template design pattern. Okay. Why do we call this a template? Is whoever call the save method, just they have to supply the query. Example, can I supply insert query?
Yes.
Can I supply insert query into employee table?
Yes, sir.
Can I supply insert table into address table?
Yes. Any query we can pass.
Delete query can I supply?
Yes.
Update query can I supply?
Yes.
Select query can I supply?
Yes, sir. Any query we can pass.
No.
No. This is
Watch.
for this is save.
To update or
Yeah.
Maybe
So,
some other methods are available.
Okay, so they have developed one save method to perform three operations. What are the three operations? Insert, update, and delete. Okay, but for retrieving the records, they have written one more method. So like that, Spring has developed so many methods for us, and they have given it to us. Okay, now if they do all the tasks, now tell me, what is my responsibility in Spring to use JDBC?
Create the object and call the methods.
Get the object. Get which object?
JDBC template.
Oh, if I get the JDBC template, do you think that are we going to get the object or not? Are we going to perform those operations or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
we should give the details to get a data source, right? Like which table, which database we want to connect and all.
Yeah, those information we'll do that. We'll read it from the property files. We do the task later point of time. You don't worry about it. I'll explain that. That for that property files also, Spring only has written the code. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm showing in a high level. See, I cannot show each and every program, right? Each and every line what they have written. In a high level, I'm giving you that. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now tell me, what is the meaning of working with JDBC in Spring? What I have to do? What is the work I have to do?
Create a JDBC template object and call the methods.
Oh, do you want me to create the object?
No.
template
Spring
object?
will create, sir. Just you
get the object.
get the object and call the
Yeah.
method.
So we have to just get the object. Once if we get the object, can I call the appropriate methods or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now answer. So really working with JDBC in Spring is going to be a very difficult part or more easiest part?
Easiest part.
Easiest part.
Easiest part. Are we clear with the concept?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do one thing. If you really understand, guys, can you really take care of it or you need my help?
We will take care of it, sir.
Start. 1 minute. No, leave factory class and all. First, can we see with an XML example?
Yes, sir.
Okay, delete all. Okay, I want to set up the complete workspace from the scratch. Okay, go to Finder, Spring, move to Trash. Start the work. Eclipse. Guys, are you guys comfortable with Eclipse?
Yes.
Can we slowly move on to IntelliJ?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Somewhere I want to use IntelliJ also here. Once if you start using IntelliJ, it's too good. Only one thing is you don't like, after that you don't like Eclipse. Like, yeah, tell me, take care of the work. Okay, before that, let me do one thing. Let me explain one architecture here. Architecture is going to be like this. First, we need a database, right? Think that this is a database. Who communicate with the database? Do you think, okay, I need to develop a Java program. Do you think that Java application can directly communicate with the database, or Java application cannot directly communicate?
It will communicate with the JDBC driver.
JDBC driver. So we need a JDBC driver also. Okay, let's put that. Let's put the JDBC driver here. Okay, this is a JDBC driver. Okay, as I'm using MySQL, I'll be communicating with. I'll be adding which jar file?
MySQL.
MySQL jar files.
Okay, now I need to use context module jar file here. Why context? Who will create the container object? Am I going to create the whether I have to write the code to create the container, or already there are pre-defined classes are there?
Already predefined classes are there.
Okay, in which module container creation classes are there? In core module or JDBC module?
Core module.
Okay, do you think that do I need to add the context object here or context dependency here or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but JDBC template is a class available in the core module, or is it available in a separate JDBC module?
JDBC module.
Do you think that do I need to add JDBC modules also here?
Yes.
Okay, in my application, I'm going to write JDBC template class. So now explain the flow now. Java application is going to talk to whom?
First, it talks to the core module and creates a container object.
JDBC template classes. JDBC template classes module is going to talk to whom?
Spring Core.
Core module.
Core module.
Okay. Core module is going to talk to whom?
JDBC driver.
JDBC driver. JDBC driver is going to talk to whom?
Database.
Okay. Now, all this is a big procedure, steps I have to set up here. Okay. How many times we have to do all this setup? Do you think that we have to do it only one time, or every time, every day morning, we have to go to office and do all this setup?
This is the one-time setup.
Okay. But after all this setup is completed, we keep on writing the Java applications, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So are you comfortable with this setup now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now, guys, can you take care of all this setups now?
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
one quick question. People who are attending Spring Boot, you guys has to answer. Really, in Spring Boot, are we doing all this nonsense or we are not doing it?
Not required at all.
Not at all required. Okay. Spring Boot is another different world, which will simplify your life like anything. Okay. Anyway,
Yes.
we see that later. Take care of the setup.
Create
I don't
a
know
maven
anything here.
project. Yes.
Okay. Sir, first example I want to teach with XML.
XML.
Can we?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Start the work.
Create a Maven
No, no.
project.
The reason why I want to teach with XML is, okay, maybe unfortunately your fate is not good. You have entered into a project where XML files are there. Okay, we should not run away, right? So we should be able to understand that. That is the reason one example of XML. All the remaining examples are going to be like annotations part. All the steps you know here. Today we will finish those steps. XML steps. Take care of it.
Create a Maven project.
Maven project.
Internal.
Let's start next. Info.inxol. Spring JDBC. Okay, finish. Sir, one small help. Don't expect me to explain the steps, because already I have explained to a diagram. What you have to do is convert this diagram into code. You just do that.
Okay. Add the dependencies in pom.xml.
Okay. Now look at the diagram. According to the diagram, you add the dependencies.
Okay. Context and JDBC dependencies.
Context, JDBC will add. What is this?
Driver. Driver
Do I need to
class.
add a driver also or not?
Yes, driver also need to add.
I don't know.
Go to Google.
Okay. Google. Spring context
Maven dependency.
We'll copy. We'll open all and we'll copy one by one here. Okay. Context I have opened. Next.
Spring JDBC.
Spring JDBC Maven dependency. Okay. Click on that. Oh, this is also available 5.2.7. That's also fine. Next.
MySQL Maven dependency.
MySQL Maven dependency.
MySQL Maven dependency. Okay, that's also fine.
Okay.
That is also ready. We'll copy. Can we have a Java compiler version also?
Yes, sir.
Java compiler, Maven plugin. Okay, you just go here. All are ready. Now copy one by one. I want MySQL. Copy. Go and have the dependency here. Okay, next. I want context. Okay, 5.2.7. Copy that. Okay, paste here. Context I had. Okay, I want JDBC dependency also. Spring JDBC dependency. Okay, copy paste. Okay, we having a JDBC dependency also. Okay, now I want Java compiler version. Okay, copy these plugins. Okay, come down. I want to add a build tag. Build tag. Okay, paste it. I don't want this version. I want to use Java 13 version. Release. Okay, release. Off. 13. Can I?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So right click on this.
Maven
Maven.
update project.
Update project. Force update.
Okay.
Okay. So is everything is done?
So now create the configuration file.
Yeah. Where do you want to have the configuration file?
Resource folder.
In the package.
Resources folder.
Okay. Resources folder. Can I have in a package also?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Create in a package. New package. Info.inxall.config.
Configurations. Okay.
Yeah. Right click. New.
Other. Spring Bean configuration file.
Okay.
Spring
Any name is fine.
.xml.
Any name is fine. So watch here. Are we getting some extra namespaces also or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
As we added dependency.
Yeah, TX transactions, but I'll not choose any of them here. Click on next. Click on finish. Tell me, are we able to get all the required dependencies here or not?
Yes, sir. Now,
Okay. I'm done. Okay, setup you have completed here. Okay, tell me now what we have to do. First step, do we need to develop JDBC template class or not?
Yes.
What? Yes.
oh, sir, it's already available, right? We just use it.
Yes.
Yeah. JDBC template class, I no need to develop it. May I know the reason why I no need to develop it?
Spring already is given.
Predefined class.
Yeah. Predefined classes, right?
So
let's
yeah.
do.
We need to configure data source.
Guys, are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, 1 minute. I don't know. Something happened. Like connection has been got reset, I think. Yeah. Are you able to see my screen also, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So can you verify really JDBC template class is there or not? Can you verify that?
Yes, sir. Control Shift T,
Control Shift T.
JDBC template.
JDBC template. Oh, it is already available. Oh, any annotation is there or no annotation?
No annotation.
Oh, it's a very old code. Okay, just come down. Maybe it is inheriting the properties of other classes here. Somewhere you can find the data source objects also. Okay, we'll come here. Hey, what
Constructor.
is this?
Default constructor.
What is this here?
Parameterized constructor with data source.
Look at this and answer. Do you really think that is this a mandatory dependency or optional dependency? Default constructor. Yeah.
No, sir. It's not optional. It's an optional dependency.
Okay. Okay. Configure only JDBC template now. Quick.
Bean.
Yeah. Bean.
ID.
ID equal to
JDBC template.
Now.
Class.
Class is equal to
JDBC template.
JDBC template. Okay, fine. So can you help me to create the container object? Can you help me to call the methods now?
Yes.
Create the container object. Help me to call the methods.
New class path XML application context.
New class path XML application context of
info.init.sol.spring database.
forgot. Class path colon info slash init.sol slash config spring hyphen
config.xml.
config.xml. Okay. Now let me store this output in a variable class path XML application context. I know that's a bad way of writing the code. We have to store that in a variable called as application context, right?
Yes, sir. Interface.
Yes. Copy that, paste container. Can you help me to get the JDBC template object? Right? Can you help me to get the JDBC template object? Okay, close the container also. Container.close. Help me to get the JDBC template object.
Container.getBean of JDBC template.
GetBean of
JDBC template dot class.
JDBC template dot
class.
Sorry. Semicolon. Control 1. Sir, any errors which you are going to get, you have to read and then you have to answer it. Okay, no problem. Don't worry about it. Look at the methods here. JDBC template dot God. They have given so many methods here. Example like update is a method which will take SQL queries to perform insert. See here, they have given the documentation also to perform insert, update, and
delete
statement. Okay, you leave this line. We will write this line later point of time. Save it. Okay, can you run this code now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If any error comes, you guys are in a position to resolve it. Read it. Run as Java application.
Bean creation exception.
Okay.
It's dependent on data source.
Don't tell me the answers directly. I want you to read the complete error and then come to the conclusions here. If you read this, it's a problem. Tomorrow, different errors we are going to get in the project. At that time, we should not be got screwed up, right?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Read the first line here.
Bean creation exception.
Okay. Which bean is got failed to create the object?
JDBC template.
How do you know that?
Error creating the bean with the name JDBC template.
Defined in class.
Defined in the class paths resource.
Defined in class path resource. Very good. Even they are telling you the configuration file also.
Invocation of init method failed.
What is this?
There are some mandatory dependency which we did not configure.
In the beginning classes I've explained, right? Whenever there is a mandatory dependencies available, you are supposed to, you will get an error message saying that invocation of
init method failed.
Init method failed or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an error message which we are getting it. Okay, fine. Still we are not completed it. Okay, move on. Illegal argument.
Property
What?
data source is required.
Okay, so now tell me, do you guarantee that is JDBC template is dependent on data source or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, question. Assume that you don't have any knowledge on JDBC template here, but you are configured JDBC template. You got this error message. Immediately you are going to understand JDBC template is dependent on data source or not.
Yes, sir.
This is how you have to work in a project. Don't think about all the dependent classes in the beginning itself. If you came to know about one class, immediately you configure that class, start using it. If that fellow is dependent on other beans, they are going to give error messages or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And you take care of those error messages here. So are you guys comfortable with the concept?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
But somehow I want to solve this problem. Now tell me, which bean I have to configure now?
Data source.
Data source. Okay, sir. Again, to explain data source, other lengthy story is there. Okay, so different type of data sources are there here. So let's stop for today. In Monday session, I'm going to explain. Tomorrow we don't have any class here. Monday session, I'm going to explain about different type of connection pools. Okay, like in-memory connection pools, all of them are available. Monday session, I'll explain those connections. Okay, we'll see it on Monday here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.